Before this video begins, please allow me to take this opportunity to give a thank you to the sponsorship donators and Patreons of this channel, these being Skyhawkings, Tribal Typhoon, Dante Demonic, and Negus. Thank you. Without your support, this video would not have been possible. Shall we begin? I guess we're at it again. Julantru, and welcome to Shadowstar. Welcome to this visual review video. We are currently on board a Scorpion fighter following alongside the wings of a Milam support frigate in order to dock with the ship in question for today's video. So, welcome everyone. Please get comfortable and allow me to introduce to you a absolutely stunning bird of the Romulan skies. We will be looking at this ship first of all in its possible customizations. Then we'll be looking at its finer detailing, and I have to say this is a gorgeous looking ship. And finally we'll take a look at possible Vanity and visual shield options. So, without further ado, please allow me to introduce to you my Ranodalier Etoile Zalos. Yeah, named after another STO YouTuber. You might know him. Does some absolutely great videos. He actually recently covered the background stories of all of his captains. Absolutely love his work, and do you know what? Since on my Discord he mentioned this was the ship he's looking forward to getting the most, I just had to name my one after it. And you know what? It's a beautiful ship, so I cannot blame him. Let's see. We have, quite frankly, a absolutely magnificent design. The Hangar Bay is actually quite deep. You will see that the forward section of the Hangar Bay is not in use. This is going to be something to look for later, isn't it? No real different points in these connections though, so, well, I guess this was going without saying. Also, there wasn't really another tier 5 variant of the ship that had been released beforehand. So, I wasn't actually expecting anything major here, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's really necessary to have other customizations, because this ship is absolutely stunning. It's taken the principles of the Deradex and sort of brought it all together to remove the negative space but still make use of the maximum amount of space it has. It has such an imposing posture. Ranodalier has its own custom selected hull type, which is absolutely amazing. Riemann type hulls 1 and 2. To be honest, they're not spectacular on this ship, but I can't complain against them. I definitely prefer the Riemann visual look that you'll see later. Have a hint at what it's going to look like right now. Though Romulan Type 1, Type and Type 2 seem to sort of be a little bit too murky for the ship. Brown, okay, I'm normally not a fan of brown. I'm still not a fan of brown in this situation. But I've got to say, it's a different look. You could have a custom faction as a result. Type 3, however, absolutely love this look. I like the little white plates that have been added in. Type 4 is gorgeous to me. I don't know why I seem to like the lighter looks. The Type 5 had a very strange effect on me. It is essentially the Type 3 in reverse. Now the green is lighter and the white has turned to a sort of black. And you'd think I'd really like it, but yeah, I'm 50-50. Veteran, some people like Veteran, others don't. Tarvo's okay. It's very, very similar to the Rhino Denier. An upgrade, let's just be frank, the upgrade has always been one of those ones which it strikes me and I like it, but I can't explain why. Absolutely gorgeous look. Great level of paint jobs available on this ship as well, which is nice to see. All of those standards are there. 4 window types available to this ship, should you wish to have them. Personally, with the Rhino Denier, I prefer to have Type 2. Some people prefer Type 1. And I know some people like the yellow windows. What can I say? Each to their own. We have no extra Romulan bridges, and as someone preached, I'm going to use the word preached because I'm going to preach right now, so it makes me feel better to think that they were. More Romulan holes. Sorry, bridges. Please, give us more Romulan bridges, come on. Please, SDO. You know you like us. We will pay Zen. I think that was evident with the way a lot of us bought bridges for the other ships. Whoops. Yeah, a few new bridges could be a nice thing. So it does have its limited points, but out to space now. So we have the Nacelles now here in the Dyson Sphere, showing off its true magnificent size and glory, and holy moly, is she big. If we thought the Catalan's Aspero support carrier was a big, well, we saw the windows on that, and that's a big ship, but this one by its windows is huge. In fact, it is that big based on its windows that are technically the Milim should be able to fit inside that hangar. Yes, that huge hangar sitting right there. I pointed it out before, now let's really point out the details to it. Things to really note on. First of all, look how deep that hangar is. For its unused launch space, to me that is an area where you probably got a force field at the front, and the Romulans are being very smart and keeping that force field invisible. Where you can have lots more ships docked there if you need to. That is very, very obviously by its... If you just look at the size of it versus those windows, that's multiple decks of hangar space going on there. It's a huge hangar. Even if you don't use the front. And then if you go back here, and you can see sort of where it's going to end. It's nicely here, just after the front of the wing. And it goes all the way back to here. And I'm not saying the whole lot is hangar space, but much like I said with the Kataran, it would make sense to utilize this as an independent section. And you know how the Romulans like to be. So you could say you have a leader in command of this section, and it throughputs up to this dome that you're seeing on top of here. Same for this one, throughputs up to the dome on top of here. And you could almost say then that if they really wanted to, I know it doesn't look like it, but it could probably purge and drop both out if necessary. Hey, make mobile bases. But that's just something, that's just a bit of headcanon I see there in its physical design. It looks like it could potentially do that with a little bit more detailing. Also based on its size, you could easily have a distinguished section of Romulans working throughout that one segment. And in the other segment, leaving the rest of the ship to be commanded by its commander, and the whole crew just live aboard it as well. Again, this is a huge ship, absolutely huge, and unlike with the Dodera decks, there is a vast amount of used space rather than negative space. This results in the ship actually being able to accommodate a much larger crew and possibly families. Seeing as this ship is flown by the Romulan Republic, it would make sense for this ship to act as a family vessel as well, unlike old Romulan ships which were pure military. So again, it would be, I could see it reasonable to say families exist on the main ship, and maybe even the families of the fighter pilots and the commanders in charge of each flight hangar lives aboard the main ship. It would be good actually if the whole section was used only as the command structure, because that would leave huge amounts of space for engineering, repairs for fighters and the support frigates, as well as plenty of room for command sections and tactical within that. More detailing aside, I want to actually go up to this upper dome now, and it's something to note on. We can see quite clearly where the nacelles are, but we've got this extra green venting in the middle, and it's my theory and belief that what's going on here is similar to what you have with the Kataran, which has very clear secondary deflector systems going on that protect the hangars during launching warp. I want to assume that this is creating a sort of deflector system or warp field stabilizing that allows for, again, the frigates and the fighters to launch during warp, as deployment before disengaging warp would be far more efficient and definitely be something up the Romulans' train of thinking. After all, deceptive and deceitful a Romulan might be, but they're also cunning and very intuitive. The train of thought for them is definitely going to be there. Onto the nacelles, and I think some people are going to like, well, look at those very clear docking points. I can assume maglocks, but I would never call them docking points. Basically because it's looking at the size of the ship. Yeah, they're an angle, and maybe they have to be that big to dock onto an angle edged of a ship, but my viewpoint personally is that these are not docking points, because the chances are this whole ship isn't working on the multiple levels like that going down. There's probably the anti-gravity system actually probably slopes in these sections to make sure people can walk down the wings flat rather than at an angle. This would result in these docking points having a similar situation, and also mean that they are decker of decks in size. They're just look at the section here that shows you all those little windows. A hangar is a docking point is normally about 2 decks in size. You're looking at, okay, a deck and a half in size, not really 2 decks. But then you're looking here at about 5 to 6 decks being used by what could be a docking point. That is absolutely massive. The only reason I can think of it being that big is if it's actually a gate system with a strong maglock and then an extension arm that docks to the docking point. That's the only way I can see those as docking points. I just argued myself. What the fuck? Further on within the cells, I'm not sure the facades should be the way they are. They're absolutely ginormous. But then I could see multiple facade collectors all the way down there that could require that kind of shielding, or that massive shield housing. So, fair play to that part. Even if I don't fully agree with it. But what I really do appreciate with, and this is where the idea of these upper sections here being part of the warp grid come into it. We know they use the Singularity Power Core, and they could generate their warp fields a little bit differently. They're actually closer to Romulan warp fields. So, is it possible that the rear tips of the nacelles, combined with these upper sections here, combined with the tail itself, is actually the warp bubble generator? Or maybe I've got this very wrong, and the literally warp bubble is generated only by the tail and these 2 segments over the hangars. I mean, it's plausible, I can see it, and that would leave room for both what's on the back of the nacelles and what is at the tips of the rear of the wings to essentially be the impulse drive and help push this ship. With her being so huge, that would make a lot of sense to have. Now on to the bridge. And since we don't really know exactly where the bridge is, I have my assumptions, but I don't want to be like, this is definitely the bridge. My theory is the bridge is, well, housed up here. I'm saying this purely because the shape of the front of this ship is too wedge-like for my likings. The only other place I could think of it being is in the dead center here. But that would lead to a lot of pain, especially if this was to accidentally ram another ship. You'd end up killing the entire bridge crew. However, like we've said before, or like I've recently just said, Romulans are quite intelligent. I'm not picking up the Romulans, no. There's a very good chance that the bridge is actually back here somewhere within the internals of the ship, and that the only visible bridges could possibly be on the top sections of here for each hangar. If so, full speed ahead, ram straight through that target. And I could see them reinforcing the front of the ship for that. I do have to say, I wasn't keen on the look before, because I always feel like the front of a ship for a Romulan should look very bird's beak like, but this look has grown on me relatively quickly, and I like it now. Okay, I like it a lot. I won't deny it. I really like the way it looks, and I wish to fly it. This ship was one of the ones that was in my least favourite category of all of them, and now it's topped itself up there. I literally have to say it right now. I don't have a favourite look out of these 4 ships. I like them all. On back to the tail, and the tail itself is probably my favourite defining feature, because when I first saw this ship, I thought it flew in this direction, with the tail actually being the front of the ship, and the back of the ship all being that rear part that you see there. And you know what? If it was actually that way around, and say you take these green glows off the front, put them on the tail at the back in some manner, and just turn the hangars around to face forwards, I've got to say it right now, flying in this configuration that you can see right now, this would have instantaneously been my #1 looking ship out of all of them. It would beat all of the other ships, and it would be the one that I'm flying right now, not the Kataran. Why? Because then it brings up the wedge shape again, with reverse wedge at the back, which is what I like. Everyone must have noticed that with the Kataran. Yes, it's a bit stumpier than normal, and I do prefer my longer ships, but it just feels so much more aggressive at the back. And this ship as well, to me, feels like it wants to fly in reverse. To second that up, I don't know why, but this just makes this view, it looks like the ship wants to be faster. As a result, I really like the rear of this ship. This is absolutely my favourite view of it, and I will fight anyone that argues it for that. This is definitely my favourite viewpoint. Seriously, just put a small deflector underneath here and I am happy with this ship. Oh, I have my issues. That's not to say that the front doesn't look great and that it doesn't look menacing for the front. It's just I really do like the rear of the ship more. A lot more. It feels like they originally designed the ship to fly from this direction, but then they accidentally pull it down on the desk in the wrong manner. Gene Roddenberry picked it up and went, I like it! And they went, no, it's supposed to be like, no, I like it! I was like, oh, okay. That is not a reference to the Reliant, I swear. Oh. Okay. last thing to look at, because I'm sure people want to know it, we'll take a look from above for this, nice and away from the ship. Where does, first of all, the support frigates launch from? Okay, support frigates launch straight out the front of the ship and cloak straight away. That's... uh-oh. Wish I knew about that in the stats review. I am very glad that when I did the review, I said the best out of all of these ships to get was this one. And I said that on the basis of Battle Cloak and, well, it's just got the rawest, highest DPS potential out of them. That ship just cloaked immediately. Scorpion fighters, where are you going to launch from? Please, 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 out the hangars, out the hangars. Oh, oh, oh. What? Son of a... What? Where'd they launch from? What the fuck? Okay, right, well, yeah, some just launched out the rear there. I highly appreciate the fact that they did attempt to launch from the hangars. Just a little bit too close to the center. Just needs a little bit widening and it came straight out the hangars. I'm not going to complain because in the middle of combat, you're not really going to get to see that. You're only going to see this normally upon an actual launching, and I'm just going to be frank with you right now. That's not a big deal. Thank you, Cryptic, for taking the time to work on that. Right, here we go. Visual reviews of the Vanity shields. All of them are there, thank God. I don't have to spend 100 million EC on the Emperor's Vanity shield again. And first of all, we start off with the Alliance. The Alliance Vanity shield available for free if you wish to get it. Can't say I approve. No. Also, something I'm now going to jip on is, well, the fighters and the Milan will not have the whole type on them, but you can literally fly, as I showed you right at the beginning of this video. You can actually fly both of them and therefore put this Vanity shield on both of them. Would have been a great addition to have allowed those to also show the same Vanity shield that you're using. Just wanted to add that in there. Next up, now this one could be good. Bio Vanity shield. I wasn't too keen on it on the Kataran, but this ship has a lot more windows across its body, so also it's not as mega smooth, so has more to work with. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, it looks absolutely stunning. Oh my god, please. Oh, Cryptic, please. Tell me you made a mistake and this ship's supposed to fly in reverse. Wow. The rear of this ship just looks fucking amazing. Damn it. Time now for Bald Vanity shield. Should be alright on this ship. I give it some chances. I apologise for my sniffing right now. Not bad it looks. I'm also dying to spot weapon points because again I feel like this ship has no weapon points on it, which is a little bit concerning. Discovery Vanity shields. The hangar looks actually quite good like this. It's not a bad looking ship. Not with the Discovery, it's not. Right, next up we have the Emperor's Vanity Shield. A darker look for a menacing ship, I guess. Not really all that menacing though. I say knowing full well this ship is extremely menacing. Oh, come on. Every single time I see the rear of the ship, I think, why could you have been faced the opposite way around? There's a few ships I wish was the opposite way around in its facement. Sometimes ships just look better from the rear. You know, I like a ship with a good butt, and this ship has a good butt. The Feklari Vanity Shield. This is almost offensive. I mean, I like the shield, but to see this gorgeous vessel rusted and beaten like this, no, that's offensive to her name. She's too good looking for this junk. God. I've just realised that if they did this in reverse, these little fins that you got at the back here would be perfect for, as a huge impulse drive on the ship. That's why they couldn't do it. Oh. Okay, I've just recognised immediately right now why they physically could not, even if they wanted to, put this ship in the reverse direction. Let me point this out right now. Rear of the ship's tail is now an icebreaker. Front of the ship is the bridge of the icebreaker. Wings on the ship with perfectly placed weapons modules that are now actually hangars and great impulse arrays. It's fucking Andorian when it's in reverse. It's fucking Andorian. If you don't believe me, I'm literally going to prove it right now. Take a look at that angle and look. Because I know I can prove this, and all I have to do is find one ship. Talk about giving myself a stun. Oh. I don't think it's the tier 5 one I necessarily want. No, it's the... Yeah, it's the tier 5 I want, isn't it? There you go. Look at the way it's shaped and positioned. It's just a bigger, bulkier version of the Kumari. It's just a bulkier Kumari. Okay, fair play STO, you couldn't do it. I would have loved to have seen it anyway, but you couldn't do it. That's why I like the rear so much. Oh, the Kumari's one of my favourite ships. That's why I like it so much. Damn. Kelvin Divergence Vanity Shield. Doink! Back to the front because I noticed I was snapping from the back. I view the back as the front and it's not a good thing. Okay, now for medical vanity shield. Which I imagine it looks absolutely atrocious on the ship. Can we please note that I just realised there are 2 weapon points on this ship at the aft, but that's it. At least it's got weapons. Platinum vanity shield. Oh! Oh, you look nice, don't you? God damn it, this ship would have looked so much nicer flying backwards. Finally, Section 31 Vanity Shield for the Vanity Shields. I say finally because now we get on to Reputation and Mission Shields that all have stats enhancements as well. Which is funny because you can pick up the Aegis one for next to nothing, even though it could actually make your ship a little bit stronger. But a Vanity Shield is hundreds of millions of EC. 125 million to get the Emperor's Vanity Shield. Now we get on to the one that cost me 1.1 million. Aegis Covariant Shield Array. I mean, technically I could have engineered it myself, and oh my god. Right, you can see why it's 1.1 million, can't you? There's bloody nothing. But it actually has quite the shimmering look to it. For once, these areas here actually look quite good thanks to the Aegis shield. Probably would look nicer using this Vanity shield if I had a lighter hull texture. Next up, we move to Assimilation Mode, something that the Tal Shiar seem to enjoy. Assimilated Regenerative Shield Array. This is going to be some fun in a section. I did not say what you think I said. God, I hate autistic stutters. I do apologise for when I say one word instead of another. Hey, imagine how I used to say sit. Or ship. That was a good one too for me, actually. 1, 2. Now for full assimilation practice. First of all, I'm sorry, but that's where the deflector. Q and your absolutely gorgeous escort. Sorry, I really do appreciate Kataran ship design. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Right. Well, yeah, okay. First thing I'm going to say is actually, this makes it very clear that the Kataran is tiny in comparison if we go on the principles of the size of these parts, because that, what is on the front of this ship, took up a huge amount of the nose on the Kataran. And a huge amount of the impulse tip. And look at it on here. It's just like tiny in comparison. Ooh. But no, that's a lot bigger than that is. And that says the size has been amplified for certain parts here. Makes it so hard to tell the size differences, doesn't it? Ah, there it is. That's an interesting attachment. At least this one's attached in a reasonable spot. And that's attached reasonably because it's actually attached to it rather than on the Katarn. Wait, it wasn't attached to Jackal! What? I just do love how small that is in the front. Personally, I love the fact it's got the exact same orientation as the Katarn for a start. But pull it forwards a little bit and bulk it up. So like 0.1 of a kilometer forwards and amplify its size by about 3. And yeah, then I think it would look about okay on the front of that ship. Let's bleed the hearts away, and we can take a look at Bajoran. Bajoran Defense Covariant Shield Array. Hangars don't look great right now. Again, this ship looks better from the rear though. I do love the smoothness of the body though. Mind you, people know that I love the Shepard class and the Gargarin, and this is kind of why I love smoother underbodies. I don't know why. It's like all my favourite Starship designs have smoother underbodies. The NX class, the Akira class, the Shepard class. There's another thing to note for me. I like smooth underbodies. Now we get on to Counter Command Covariant Shield Array. This should look alright actually. Gives a very reinforced feeling, like someone's come along and added a load of additional plating to vulnerable areas of the ship. At least we know where the deflector is now, which apparently is non-existent behind windows, so that's kind of scary to think. Oh, I hate this one. Delta Alliance Unimatrix Shield Array. Actually, oh no, there are absolutely huge areas of glow segment. This is going to look terrible. Except for that's just giving me hope. What? A little bit ashamed about the tip here, because that would have been better off if the green followed all the way to the tip of it. The back's all right. What the? Oh, the impulse arrays are screwed up. But you know what? Doesn't actually look too bad. Another one where this, for some reason on these support carriers, the Vantage shield that some of the Vantage shields that I really tend to dislike, like the Delta Alliance Unimatrix shield that's currently on, I'm actually kind of okay with, which is something to be said. Ooh, Dyson Regenerative Shield Array. Place your bets now, guys. It's a good shape for it. I love the fact the green stayed in there. Hey, it works. Do you know what? I really like it. Would have loved it a lot more if it flies backwards, but sorry guys, I'm not going to stop. It's not a bad look. It is not a bad look. Also, I've just gotten the feeling that this ship is the sort that can touch itself down on the planet's surface, albeit rather lightly, much like with the Katarn that I said. I did say that it could touch down. Turns out this one might want to as well. Okay, Iconian Resistant Resilient Shield Array, which looks like a complete cake. And not the good kind of cake. Not the good kind of cake. Okay, let's go now to... Oh, God. Yes, let's come out with a name that most autistics with a stutter will not be able to say. Lucari That was completely unintentional as well. Lucari Restoration Intuitive Regenerative Shield Array. Fuck me. Yeah. Ah. That's one way to get your anxiety going. Da 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 da. You know, it looked kind of okay on the Aspero, but on this one, I'm going to give it a hard pass. Like, seriously. Slam it into a dock and tell it to go monk itself. Okay, right, next up we have the Mako Resilient Shield Array. This one should be kind of okay on the ship. Now I think these are RCS points. Yes, let's do Aegis, but do Aegis differently. And you know what? It's okay. Next up, Nukara Crystalline Resilient Shields, aka the Folium ones, which look absolutely amazing on the Aspero. How about with you badass looking ship? Oh my word. Okay, no, you actually look really nice. Again, I've got the same train of thought, but again, I should probably stop saying it because someone's going to hurt me if I say it once more. Next up, the one that can't possibly look bad. The Romulan Advanced Prototype Covariant Shield Array. I have been proven wrong before. Okay, can't possibly look bad. Can't possibly look bad so long as you select the right hull type to go along with it. It's basically what the Aegis shield should be for Romulans, except for Romulans end up with Aegis shield to either match Klingon, or in the case of mine, match Federation. Yes, the right hull type selection could make this look quite good. You could go Riemann, which would be an interesting one with it. Or, personally, I would go for the Type 3 or Type 4 hulls, just to have the lighter plating to work alongside this current light plating. You could even say Type 5, but I'm not 100%. Let's tongue-tie myself again. Temple Defense Insured... That word. Regenerative Shield Array. Oh, I lost the word completely. Right. It's that Chronotron's vomited all over it. Same thought I had with the Aspero, and you know what? I'd probably even say the same thing when it comes to the Klingon, knowing my luck. It's not a great one, is it? Terran Task... I probably should have finished that because that would have given people a lot of laugh. I did nearly say Terran Task Force Tools. Sorry, Terran Task Tools. Covariant Shield Array, because that's how my brain was going. Terran Task Force Covariant Shield Array. Why did I like the T's for some reason? I'm Essex. I hate T's. Oh, god damn it. How many people have I driven crazy so? This looks mean. Oh, give me Terran disruptors or privateer disruptors, any of the menacing looking disruptors, and let's fly. Fly, my pretty fly. Nice. I don't know why, but Klingons with me always feel to me like they should be red. Okay. We now go to. Oh. Oh, I made the joke last time. I'm not making it twice. Dielectric oscillating, or dielectric oscillation resilient shields, which are also referred to by me as garbage shields, but are actually debris shields. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're great for making the ship feel like it was assimilated by the Borg, but other than that, I really have no other opinion on them. Jem'Hadar Resilient Shield Array. Oh, thank you. You took the trash, you put it in the dump, and you gave me beauty. Hello there. Do you come around here often? Do you know what? This is actually a really nice look. Slam on some polar ones, and it might even feel fitting to have this in the Jem'Hadar forces. That's definitely the nicest angle for this ship, in my personal opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a very nice look as well. But when you go to this angle, it just feels like you are now the prey, it's the hunter, and you might want to run this second. Also, it turns those weird back bits into what feels to be like targeted torpedo launchers. She's nice in this look. Now, once again, I said it with the Romulan. It should not be able to look bad. This one, since it changes everything about the look. Reman Advanced Prototype Variant Shields. I know it's not everyone's taste, but this is supposed to be one of those times where I just love the way it looks. Because sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. It's kind of like Marmite. And this is Reman on a Romulan or Reman ship, essentially. Let's unfortunately, this is one of those situations where taking the view into question, this is going to make zero sense, but the only reason I don't like it is because of the orientation of the ship. If I look at this and tell my brain that the ship is currently flying away from me, I like the way it looks, because then my brain orientates to think of the ship at that angle. It feels like the flow of the ship, and it feels like everything's flowing towards the back, and it just, that's the way my ADHD brain is currently working, and it just tells me the ship looks amazing. Go to this angle, and it's just like, yeah, everything's flowing away from me now as the ship flies towards me, and it just feels great. Same for the underside view, feels absolutely amazing. But then if I reverse that train of thought and think to myself the ship is now coming towards me, it feels like there's far too much detailing in my face and the back is just empty, and it ends up ruining the feeling of the visual to me. That probably makes zero sense to everyone. But that's just the way my screwed up brain works. I don't like it. No, I can't help it. I don't like it. as much as I love the way this ship looks, I don't like the way it looks with that. That's so weird. I'm so weird. I make no sense. Oh, story of my life. Well, with all this joking aside, let's wrap this up. Visually speaking, I'm going to score the ship this time, just because I feel like I can. Honestly, I absolutely adore the way this ship looks, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, and you guys, guess why it doesn't get 10 out of 10 for me? It's absolutely stunning in its aesthetic, though. It is a very beautiful ship, very well thought out. The hangars are probably my favourite detail on this ship. After the hangars, it's just the way the tower is shaped and the flow of the ship. It feels great, and I love that about this ship. I wish the front had a beak on it. If the front had a beak, I'd probably like its orientation a lot more. If you reduced how tall the front of the ship is, just reduce that down and gave it the beak front, gave this almost a Mogai feel to it, I guess, you'd have probably found that I find the orientation of the ship a damn sight nicer looking than I actually do think of it right now. Give it the Kara front face, and yeah, you really won with me. But that's my tastes and choices. What are your thoughts on this ship? What do you like about it? Are you flying this ship? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and as I wrap this up, please allow me to take this opportunity once again to just say a thank you to the patrons and the donators of this channel for making these videos possible, and for making the new project that I'm working on at present a reality, as it simply wouldn't be happening without your support. Finally, I'd just like to say that if you wish to help support this whole project, get your names into the credits that will be there with this new sequence of that, take a look below. There are links down there to either be a one-time donator or become a Patreon, and there is also links to our Discord channel, which is absolutely fun to come along to, I must say. I love looking at what people have said on there. Gives you a chance to share your own videos and screenshots if you wish under Crew Clips tab. And the most blindingly best part about the whole thing, we're a fun, friendly location where you just get to have a laugh. Any hate is immediately neutralized, and I'm just going to say right now, we have absolutely amazing moderators, and I want to say a huge thank you to Skyhawkings for his moderation efforts with Discord, and just the time he puts in just to make sure it's running smoothly. The guy's a legend. With all this being said, thank you once again, guys, and until next time, I hope to see you there. Remember, Julantru, my friends. Also, Romulan for life. Let's get out of here.